What an impressive accomplishment by Lee Anderson. It effectively counters the unfortunate tenure of Sadiq Khan, the unsuccessful mayor of London. How could anyone believe Khan deserves a knighthood for the damage he's done to our city? It's truly disappointing. He should apologize and step down right away. In today's video, we will thoroughly examine everything that has been said, respond to it, and catch up on the latest news from across the nation.
I became the Reform UK's first ever Member of Parliament. Yes. You will also know that this was just after a few supposedly controversial comments I made about Mayor Khan. I like to think of it as constructive criticism. In my opinion, he has given our capital city away and he should be thoroughly ashamed of himself. Yeah. I was told at the time that I must apologise to Labour's mayor in London. Now, oh, let me tell you now, conference, I will never apologise to that man.
In the latest thrilling update, it appears that London Mayor Sadiq Khan and a number of other notable political figures are poised to receive knighthoods in the upcoming New Year's Honours list. Mr. Khan, who was successfully re-elected for a third term as mayor this year, is set to receive this well-deserved recognition. However, one must wonder, how can this be justified? Lee Anderson has not held back in sharing his thoughts on the matter. Be sure to stay tuned for this significant event.
To say that he's under the control of Islamists, though, okay, do you regret that turn of phrase?
It may be a clumsy use of language, but you've got to remember, Patrick, it was live TV. He's definitely not in control of the streets of London. On a Wednesday night, when we see the crowds out there chanting this vile venom, who's in control? Is it Sadiq Khan and the Metropolitan Police, or the people on the street?
But is it his fault, though, Lee? Because the point is that there's laws that stop you projecting words onto the building of Parliament. Martin Daubney, our colleague, filmed that with projectors. Yes. That was being ignored by police. You can't blame that on Sadiq Khan. That's an operational issue.
Has he spoke out about it, Chopper, since last Wednesday, from the rivers to the sea on Big Ben? Has Sadiq Khan actually spoken out about it?
He has no control over the police.
But has he spoken out about it?
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't spoken out about it. And actually, he is the Police and Crime Commissioner of this great city. So if he is the Police and Crime Commissioner and he's got no input into what the police are doing, what the hell is he doing? Why is he in that role?
Sadiq Khan is likely to be among the distinguished British individuals who will receive a knighthood from King Charles during the New Year's ceremony. Khan made history as the first Muslim mayor of the British capital. The 54-year-old politician has been a significant figure in politics for the past 2 decades. He was first elected to Parliament in 2005, representing his home district of Tooting in South London. He later served in the government and was elected Mayor of London for the first time in 2016. This past May, he was re-elected for a third term. The Financial Times reports that the preliminary list of knighthood candidates still requires approval from King Charles and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The government's press office has refrained from commenting on the list's contents.
Lee Anderson today announced his defection to Reform UK. What's your reaction?
Well, this is a man who, more than 2 weeks ago, said things that were clearly Islamophobic, anti-Muslim and racist. The leader of his party, the Prime Minister, hasn't got the guts and the backbone to call them what they are, can't utter the words Islamophobia. Frankly, most Londoners will conclude that the Conservative Party and the Reform Party are basically the same, both seeking to divide our communities rather than bring them together.
So as far as you're concerned, the Conservative Party still has a problem with Islamophobia?
Oh, clearly, more than 2 weeks on, the fact that Sunak, Dowden, the Cabinet, nobody in a senior position can utter the words Islamophobia. None of the people in senior position can call Anderson out for what he said shows the Conservative Party seems to be more interested in playing on people's fears rather than addressing them.
Lee Anderson also accused the Mayor of London of allowing Islamists to take control of themselves in the capital. His remarks were in response to former Home Secretary Suella Braverman's claim that Islamists are governing Britain. In an interview with GB News, Anderson stated, "I don't truly believe that Islamists have taken control of our country, but I do think they have gained influence over Khan and London. He essentially handed our capital over to his associates. Following this, a party spokesperson announced that Anderson had been expelled from the Conservative Party for refusing to apologize for his remarks. Sadiq Khan condemned these statements as fueling anti-Muslim hatred.
How does he think the 10 million people that live in London feel under his leadership? This man needs booting out of office for the sake of London. In July of this year, I became the Reform UK's first ever elected Member of Parliament. Yeah, you can clap for that as well. And let me tell you, that's a much better feeling being re-elected than the first time round, because I had a massive point to prove, as you know.
During Sadiq Khan's time as Mayor of London, expenses for Londoners have risen by 71% due to what is referred to as a hidden tax. This charge, known as the Mayor's Order, is imposed in addition to the council tax and is used to fund various projects across the city. Since Khan took office, this fee has increased by nearly 7% annually, causing the average household cost to rise from £276 in 2016 to £471 in the current financial year. Khan has stated that the increase in fees was necessary because of a lack of public funding for the Metropolitan Police, Fire Department and London Transport Service. The question remains, where is this money actually going?
Let's look at his track record. Overall crime up by 21%, violent crime 35%, homicides 5%, knife crime 54%, sexual offences 51%. It should be him who's apologising to the people of London. A disgrace, you're right. He's got the cheek to tell us that he doesn't feel safe in London. Yeah, let that sink in. He's got bodyguards, armoured car, 24-hour security. He's in charge of the Met Police, and he doesn't feel safe.
It is fair to say that the capital is currently not in its best state and the statistics are discouraging. Violence levels are rising, with knife crimes increasing almost every year. This trend is also impacting public transport, as incidents of antisocial behavior in the subway have surged significantly. Families of the young men who were killed in London earlier this year have accused Khan of having completely lost control of the streets. Under his leadership, violent crime has risen by 30%. In response to the issue, Khan introduced a plan this year to enhance policing in certain areas and to fund an additional 500 community support staff across London. However, the situation has worsened considerably. In other news, since the scheme was launched in August 2023, Londoners have experienced a significant shock. Over 1 million ULEZ fines have been issued. New data from Transport for London reveals the extent of the situation. From August 2023 to September 2024, more than 1 million penalty notices were sent to owners of vehicles that do not meet the strict requirements across 33 districts in the capital. In some areas, the number of fines has reached staggering levels, leaving residents bewildered and frustrated. In the first year of this initiative, 460,825 unique vehicles were fined in London. These figures represent real individuals facing challenging circumstances. Initially, this initiative, spearheaded by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, was intended to be more lenient. From August to September 2023, it was planned to issue warnings instead of fines to account for potential errors following the scheme's expansion. However, it appears that the reality has been much harsher than anticipated. What is your opinion about this video? See you.